Welcome back to Dungeon and Dyslexia. My name's Adrian, and today I'm going to take a look at Halls of the Blood King, which is a standalone official adventure scenario for Old School's Essentials. So this book has been recommended to me by someone on the Facebook page. I'm really sorry, I cannot remember and I can't find the post. But yeah, it was. We were just looking at different things on the Facebook page, and I was looking for things to buy. So I've recently gone through the Old School Essentials books, and it's really excited me. I was just looking for adventure modules. The guy we were talking, because obviously he's aware that I like vampires and werewolves and things like that. So this is an adventure set in a vampiric mansion. So before we get into the book, as always, let's just jump over to DriveThruRPG so you can see where you can pick it up from. You can pick it up the official book. So the book is available a variety of places. You can get it direct as well from the Necrotic Gnome. I picked up the PDF copy in a bundle of holding, which I talked about on my other channel. There was I think it was $15, and I picked up 7 adventure modules as well as some other PDFs. So if you do pick up this copy and you're going to go through DriveThruRPG, please do use my affiliate link. What I'll do now is just do the base description of the adventure. So with the rising of the blood moon, the accursed abode of the blood kings return to the world. The Lord of Vampires comes to claim the blood that's owed to him. His halls contain treasure and secrets that would make any ambitious adventurer abandon reason and cautions to seek them out. Will you risk your soul for gold and glory in the halls of the Blood King? So this is very much like, if you remember the 1980s movie like Krull, this mansion just appears from nowhere and it will stay for a certain period of time and then it just disappears. And in that time it sort of corrupts the world. And well, are the adventurers, keen enough? There's hooks in here to get the adventurers in there. So it's got 37 locations with rumour tables, loots. It's got 2 maps that come included, which covers the mansion itself, the grounds, and one is gridded and one isn't gridded. And this itself has won 2 gold medals at the 2021 INI Awards. So right, let's just get straight over then and take a look at the book and go through it. Obviously, this will contain some spoilers, so if you're a player and you plan to play in this, you probably should disappear now, but point your games master at it. From when I go through it, I'm not going to spoil the adventure itself, so you will see things, because obviously you're going to see the rooms, the map layout. I'm going to talk about some of the locations basically, but what I won't do is spoil the sort of twists and things that are going to come in the adventure for the players to find. So the one thing I'm going to say before I get into this, if you are a games master and your group is exclusively murder hobos, this probably is as far as you should go. So I'm not going to say don't buy it, because it is. I'm not going to say don't buy it, but if they are exclusively down that route, there's a lot of things in here that are going to kill the players. There does need to be negotiation. There does need to be conversation, dialogues. They're going to need to look for people to help them. Okay, so bear that in mind. You are forewarned if your group just likes to kill everything. The map, starting off, is really good. I like the layout. It's very clear. So you've got, your secret doors clearly identified, locked doors, monsters, and area numbers. Nice and easy to get in, which I really liked. So before I get into what's in the inside cover and the random happenings, I'll just sort of explain. This was written by, I think it's Diogo Nogueira, and there's a variety of people here for the layout, the illustrations, and different editing and playtesters. It is created by the Necrotic Gnome and Exalted Funeral. But like Shadowdark, Shadowdark copies this from the book layouts. What Necrotic Gnome do is they use their inside covers for useful tables. So here we've got random happenings. So once every turn, the games master is going to be rolling a d12. And if you roll a 1 on that, then you're going to go to this random happenings table here. Luckily, only the first 6 don't actually do any physical sort of damage to the players. This is more thematic things that are going to go on, like blood flowing through the walls. It's only 7 through to 12 where something bad, or let's say a sort of violent encounter, is going to take place. Vampiric traits here, because there's an awful lot of vampires in it, as you would imagine, that it covers all the traits that the vampires have, and it's so important they repeat it twice in the book. I don't know why. But there's one thing here. It says here, alternatives to energy drain. So what energy drain does is energy drain reduces the level. So not just the hit points, it actually reduces levels down. And if you get into negative levels, then you go to 0 levels. It's something bad is going to happen to the players. I don't want to spoil it, but it can be a bit off-putting for players. I would keep it in. I would discuss it openly in session 0, or at least with the players, and make the players aware that vampiric attacks from myths and legends are known to reduce the overall skill of players. Okay, so just be warned, because that might again stop them being murder hobos. So you can do these other rules down here. I'd keep it in. And then the rest of them are the sort of things, like regeneration, a few vulnerabilities that they've got, and details about their coffins, etc. Art throughout the book is in this style, and this is basically what the player's going to see when they arrive. So we've got the gates here, and then the castle just off with this big eye in the background of the image. Sense is nice and easy. It is hyperlinked for the PDF that I've got. It's going to take you through the adventure, the rumors, treasure table, really good treasure table. I like it. Vampiric traits again, random happenings in here, putting pressure on players, and then a description of all the rooms, and all the rooms as well are hyperlinked. As discussed, the adventure is so it can be easily installed into any existing adventure, because basically suddenly this castle or mansion appears and it changes a little bit of the locale where the players are, so you can just easily put this anywhere and have the players go there. It does say they need to be 3rd to 5th level. I think that's quite key. Reading through this adventure, I think a 1st or 2nd level character is going to die quite quickly. A 3rd to 5th level character is going to die quite quickly if they try to run it through, as I said earlier, as a murder hobo encounter. Players need to find allegiances, get allies, and have help to get through this adventure. History of the adventure: the Blood King is said to be the first vampire. So there's a few things in here that the Games Master is going to have to come up with and work out to add to, because it's like it says here, claims to be the first vampire. It's kind of irrelevant, I suppose, but he sort of goes around all the different lands, and all the other vampires need to pay fealty to him and taxes to him. And if they don't, stuff happens, as you'll find out in the book. We've got 3 major NPCs here that the players are going to need the help of. So we've got Selena, she is a vampire hunter that went missing and is still around. We've got the Princess of Blood, who is not really the Blood King's daughter, and she's got her own role to play. And then we've got Lord Demetrius, who is no longer really a vampire because he's got his soul back. And finding these people will be key to solving their problems, because they will have support in there. There are a variety of other factions going on in there. So we've got the Blood Spiders, the Vampire Court, the Vampire Rebels, the Void Fungi, and the Hunters. All of these as well have got their own relationships to the Blood King, or dislike the Blood King, for the players to discover over time. As you can see, there's quite a bit going on for the Games Master. I'm not convinced this is an adventure for a very inexperienced Games Master, because you've got a fair bit that you're going to have to, say, make up or add to. Adventure hooks to get the players in. You've got the standard treasure one, but saving villages is one. You've got the Princess of Blood that can be talking to them through dreams. You can have rumours of an elixir of life that will make them live forever. And as well as Selena's trying to find her for a vengeance. There are some answered mysteries. This is what I'm saying. So the Games Master needs to think about, there's a planetary model there with planets in there, but there's actual physical little sort of microscopic people interacting in there. There's a telescope that sees another world and things that are going on in the other world. The pictures change within there, and then there is a banshee that claims to be the mother of the first vampire. So again, you just need to think about these things as you go through. With all these old school books, you get these rumours, and you're going to roll a d10 to give them some of the rumours. The one that you might want to make sure that they have is 7. So some of these are true and false, and some of them are partially true. But the one that you might want to definitely lean them towards, because it's going to give them that element of urgency, is the horse only remained the blood moon's duration. You only have a few hours. Be quick. So that implies once the moon disappears and the sun comes up, they're out of time. So they're not going to be out, you know, just trying to go in, sneak, try and sort of come out and have a rest or whatever. They know they've got one hit and one go at this. Treasure table, I like this. This just details all the treasure that's in here, because treasure is experience, the areas where they're listed as well, and how many gold pieces they are worth. And it totals up here as well, so you've got 122,000, but obviously carrying over 71,000 is going to be quite hard. Again, replicates here the vampiric blood traits, and replicates the random happenings tables here. Putting pressures on the players, the game will change significantly after 6 hours, which is 36 turns. After 10 hours, 60 turns. That's it. You're just going to pick it up, transfer it to another plane, another world. Might even be another planet. Doesn't tell you where. It's up to you as the games master to hopefully make sure they get out before then. Or you're going to have to think of something that, and then it's just going to dramatically change your campaign for a long time. Getting in is going to be the hardest, well, the first thing that the player's going to discover, because you've got these biting gates and these blood thrall guards at the gates, and they are incredibly tough. So if you've got murder hobos, they're going to be dead by the time they get to the front entrance. One players, but again, it's up to them. There are ways, there is another way of getting in, but like I say, I don't want to spoil it. But as we go through this, I'm not going to sort of blast through it, but I'm going to go through it quite quickly, so it doesn't spoil too much. But what I really like throughout, you've got artwork of different things like the shadow hounds here. Where the maps are really good, what it does is it has a sort of zoned in section when you go in. So like here we've got the first floor, a reminder map of the first floor, but as you go through, so here we've got, you know, room 9, and then we've got this sort of zoomed in part of room 9 as well, and here we've got room 8, which is the blood king's mother, sort of dangerous doors as well. There are 12 other guests in here that the games masters it does say that you should do this randomly. Now, if you're not someone that is very good at remembering 12 different names, appearances, personalities, and secrets, pick the ones that you think are going to be most suitable for the adventure and go with those in the random locations. So you might want to just draw them onto the place first, or pull them in as and where needed to try and help and guide the players into whichever way that you think will be more beneficial to the players. You know, that I would suggest you sort of listen to the players and work from it. And we've got this blood spider queen here that lives in the blood spider court, blood baths. You know, it's very much on theme. Different areas where, you know, we're going to find the princess of blood as well. So I don't want to kind of spoil this. So artwork is just fantastic throughout, and then you've got them in the top level, and hopefully they will find the blood king and the way to destroy him. And then we've got the dungeons as well, where people are being tortured. And it gets about the end. You know, there isn't a real end. And that's great. This is an open-ended scenario with many potential outcomes. And the PCs might enter to seek an adventure, treasure, rescue innocents, the lost ancestries, etc. So it's really up to the players as to how they want to go about it, assuming they live long enough by not acting like complete and utter buffoons. Because I'm going to say, looking at it, I think nearly 50% of the most creatures in here are going to wipe the floor with the players. And it's not the game's intention to be that way. There are things that they can attack. So they will get... You can still have those combat encounters for the players, you know, because all groups seem to want that. It's say this is a lot more talky than fighty. But you still will have elements of fighty if the players need it. But just say talk to them before you buy this is what I would recommend. Unless you've got access to other groups and you do other things like, you know, on Discords and stuff, and you can set up a specific group for it. I really like this adventure. I'd love the film Krull. I say it just reminds me of that, where they're doing whatever they're doing out in the wilderness, and they can either stumble across this mansion that has just appeared. You could put it over the top of a house that they need to go to, or wherever it may be. And, you know, there's a variety of hooks, but most people are going to be a little bit more interested, especially when they sort of see a random house that's very sinister appearing from nowhere. You then get the sort of rumours going through. You could even actually set it up in the early nights and just talk about, you know, in the village, oh, you know, it's the blood moon. There's legend says that this happens around a time. Players are going to want to go in it. Players are inquisitive by nature. There's enough hooks in there to get the players going. The only disadvantage and the only thing is the other weird thing slightly that I thought is because it's one house and one building, you've got this strange situation where you've got other factions that aren't quite impressed with the Blood King and are looking to rebel and things. And that kind of fits a bit weird in my head, because when you think about it, this place has existed for years and years and years, and there are people that in adjacent rooms dislike each other. But saying that, we've all worked in workplaces where you've worked with people that we haven't liked, haven't we? Hopefully I'm not. I've worked for myself for years, so I can say that. It's been a long time since I was employed, but yeah, we've always been around people that you dislike. But whether you want to go and kill them is a different matter. But obviously this is a fantasy game, so go with it. Hopefully the players won't ask too many questions. It's a great map. It's really well laid out. It's interesting. There are a few secret doors and places that if the players don't go and fully investigate, I think they will really struggle. So again, you've got to use the other NPCs to put those hints and tips. You need to make them aware that the vampire hunters are in here, or legend to be in here, so it makes them want to go and seek them out, because they don't need it necessarily to complete the adventure, but it's going to make it considerably easier to achieve. I'm glad I've got it. There's a group I can run this with. There's definitely someone, and he knows who he is if he watches this, that I couldn't put in this adventure. And if you've got people like that, then maybe this one isn't for you. I will get this run, and I will let you know how it's gone and whether my players actually get past the front gate. Saying that, the downside of doing this is anything that I record makes it very difficult if my players have watched it. So I don't know. But I can always run a separate one somewhere. But I want to play this. I love vampires. I love fantasy and vampires. I really like the fact it is just this wonderful location that you can put in anytime, any place, wherever you want, and just go there. Here's a distraction from whatever's going on. Do you want to go and play with it or not? Let me know in the comments below if you've enjoyed this video. If you like the book too, please like, share and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.